Look around you. Every platform is a stage. Every conversation, a performance. Every gesture, a broadcast. We live in a world not driven by purpose, but by performance, where people chase applause from strangers and fear silence like death. A world addicted to attention. And in the center of that chaos stands a man, calm, grounded, silent, not because he has nothing to say, but because he refuses to be ruled by the noise. That man is a Stoic. Being a Stoic today is not about retreating into a cave. It's not about rejecting technology or hating society. It's about holding the line, guarding your peace, leading your emotions, and choosing presence over performance. This is the art of being still in a spinning world, of becoming invisible when everyone else is screaming to be seen, of building inner gravity so strong that no amount of likes, shares, or validation can shake you. And that begins by reprogramming your relationship with attention. Attention is no longer a passive interaction. It is an addiction, a trap, designed by algorithms, weaponized by marketing, and reinforced by peer pressure. You are not just distracted. You are conditioned. You open your phone for one thing. You lose 45 minutes to everything else. You don't even remember what you were doing. That's not a mistake. That's design. And that's what you are now choosing to reject. The Stoic begins with clarity. He asks, who am I giving my attention to? What am I giving my attention for? What is it costing me? You start reclaiming your time moment by moment, not by deleting everything, but by mastering your intent. You install app limits. You turn off notifications. You silence group chats. You block energy drainers. You replace passive input with active output. You don't scroll to consume. You scroll with a question. Am I becoming clearer or more confused? You limit content to 30 minutes a day max. You journal before you scroll. You walk before you comment. You meditate before you reply. And in this space, you recover a skill lost to modern men: solitude. You start with 10 minutes of quiet every morning. No music, no stimulation, just stillness. You don't analyze. You don't try to be profound. You just listen to the hum of your mind, to the tension in your chest, to the truth that always sits beneath the noise. And there you begin to remember who you are when no one is watching. This is your first breakthrough. When you stop asking, how do they see me? And start asking, am I proud of who I am when no one is watching? Then you move to the second level. You shift your content creation from performance to principle. The world says, post what gets attention. The Stoic says, share what brings value. You stop chasing trends. You build timeless thoughts. You don't post because it's Monday. You post because it matters. You don't care about reach. You care about resonance. You write what you needed 5 years ago. You speak not to entertain. You speak to elevate. And because of that, your words pierce. Not because they're perfect, but because they're real. And that realness, it comes from your practice. Every night you review. Where did I seek attention today? Where did I perform instead of connect? Where did I react instead of reflect? And you recalibrate. This self-audit is not guilt, it is growth. The next day you try again. Not to be flawless, to be faithful to your code. This code becomes your compass. Now you enter the third realm, public pressure. People start noticing your shift. You're less reactive, slower to respond, more present, more focused. Some admire you. Some feel threatened. Some test your silence. You don't explain yourself. You don't defend your path. You walk it. Your clarity becomes conviction. Your restraint becomes radiance. And your detachment becomes leadership. Because the Stoic isn't just unaffected by chaos. He orders it by his presence. He doesn't shout. But people listen. He doesn't beg. But people follow. He doesn't flinch. But people trust. You become this man. By repetition. By devotion. By silence. You embrace boredom. You reject overstimulation. You train your nervous system to find peace in stillness. When others panic in the void, you create in it. And one day you will look around in the middle of the world's noise and feel a calm so deep it anchors others. They'll ask you, "How are you so centered?" You won't give a quote. You'll give your story of how you stopped performing, of how you started living, of how you chose presence over performance, clarity over clout, soul over strategy. This is Stoic Reign. Subscribe and walk this path with us.